Alright, what's up, what up, YouTube family and friends? How y'all doing? Another episode of Shining Through the Pain. I am your co-host at Real King Henry. Facebook page, Wallace, Real King Henry. Follow us, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, follow the 101 Family Productions YouTube channel where we give you these gems. And I'm here with my good brothers, and I appreciate them, you know what I'm saying, coming here and talking that good knowledge, man, that y'all need to learn, man. So y'all go ahead and, do what y'all do.
Well, I'm Antoine, also known as the Clumsy Dad. You can find me on Instagram at the Clumsy Dad 1. This guy don't need no introduction either, but I'll let him introduce himself. You seen 2 episodes ago, Henry and this brother right here. Who was y'all at? Winwoods. I was like, Dad, I said, man, it was a Libra thing though. I get it. It was a Libra thing. Leo season is officially over. You know what I mean? We got to get through Virgo season. Is Libra season after Virgo season?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got one more, round, and then it's these brothers' time. So I guess they was just having a private Libra meeting or something, and then let the Leo in. But I said, we got to do something with this brother together then. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So, go ahead and just introduce yourself.
Go by Chris Enlighten on Instagram, Chris Enlighten on YouTube, and Chris Enlighten on Facebook. I'm out here winning every day, and I just had to come over with my brothers and do what we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really like this brother. I like his perspective. I like when I call, he always answer and he always come through, man. Like I said, I got great feedback from people, you know what I'm saying, when we did our little thing and all the interviews we had in the past. So we got to make this guy a regular, man, because, he giving perspectives that you don't hear every day from other people. So, you dig? So, that's what we on.
So they say actions speak louder than words, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the winning concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you told me, what did you say about winning? Even when you don't think you're winning, or even when you're not winning, you still have to have the winning mindset.
Yes, sir.
Right? So one of the main ingredients to the winning concept is what?
Consistency.
And this brother's very consistent.
Consistency.
He's very, very consistent. His actions, man, if he says he's going to do, you never got doubted. You know what I mean? He's never switched up. Some gangsters or whoever say, I'll never switched up, but y'all change every day. This brother right here, since I come across him, and I've always known him, but when I asked him, when he came to my son's funeral, and I walked up to him and I said, I'm going to need you no more than ever now. And he says, I got you. Feel me?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, brother.
My pleasure, bro. I had
Appreciate
to.
that, bro.
We fam. We go back to babies.
Yes, sir.
We was teenagers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Been
Yes, sir.
cool ever since.
Been cool ever since, man.
And that's one thing, too, man. I value my friendships, and I value, genuine friendships. You know what I'm saying? Because don't get it twisted. We get older, people change. Everybody change. People have kids and lives. I understand that. But if it's genuine and it's real, it don't go nowhere.
For sure.
You feel what I'm saying? It just don't go nowhere. You find time to make, make time for the people that, make time for you. You see what I'm saying?
One thing about me, I'm not really a phone guy. I don't come out a lot. But, one thing about me, I might not call you or hang with you all the time. But when we do meet again, we're going to pick right back up where we left off. And that's a real sign of a friend. You ain't got to talk to them all the time, but when you need them, you need an ear or anything, they should always be there for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you what you want to hear, they're telling you what you need to hear.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Because I feel like we all got people in our lives that come to us and we're always there for them. Mm-hmm. And we don't do things for people to get a return, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do you get from people what you give? And do you feel, it's a two-part question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what you give, and do you feel as if you should get what you give from them?
I will never receive back what I give to people.
Yes, sir.
But that reciprocity comes back to me serendipitously. I don't know how it's going to hit me back. So I do, regardless of you wanting it or being receptive to it or not. You don't have to acknowledge me when I do for you.
Yes, sir.
Because love isn't a two-way street. You don't have to love me back for me to love you. Because if you don't love me anymore and I don't love you anymore, I never loved you. You know what I'm saying? So when I do for you, I'm not doing for you to be like, hey, well, what can I do for you now? I'm doing for you because I'm showing my higher self that I'm an evolved being and I deserve more blessings in my life. So I hold the door for people. I don't wait for them. I'll be like, they say thank you. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me.
That's real.
I'm real selfish that way. It looks like I'm really generous.
Right.
I'm really selfish.
Right. Because you want those blessings.
Yeah, I want my blessings. I want to cash in with my blessings.
I can get that.
That's where the real wealth is at.
For sure.
Those blessings, those higher blessings.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Doors of opportunity is worth more than something tangible.
For sure. For sure. And that's one thing I realized when we was talking to Jamila and Miss Sheila is the giving, right? And we don't give expect.
Oh, yeah.
But it just comes, it just flows to you. You feel me? It's a lot of tight people that hold on to everything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they'll never receive everything that they should have because they want to hold on to the little that they have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you give the little that you have, and I've just learned this, right? And there's another part to this. It becomes exhausting. You see what I'm saying? It becomes exhausting. But when you give the little that you have, the abundance does flow to you.
Yeah.
It does flow to you. So would you rather? It's kind of like the dudes with the talents. You know, the dudes with the talents in the Bible. You hold on to one, or you sow your 3 and your 2. You feel me? The ones that sold their 3 and their 2, they got more. And when they had their 1, you got to throw away. You had to give away the 1 that he had. You feel me? So I guess the moral to that is to be more givers than receivers, and you still will receive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing called karma. We all know about karma.
Yes, sir.
But a lot of other humans know about Dharma. And Dharma is like when you do senseless acts to help people without wanting anything in return. But the power within the Dharma is it dissolves a lot of your negative karma that you've done in previous lifetimes and this one. So when I do things for people, when I say I'm being blessed, I'm dissolving things that my other incarnations have done to open up different doors of opportunity if I choose to incarnate again. We have to think about what's going on in our next lifetime, not afterlife, our next lifetime. Because what's going to happen is you're going to pick right back up where you left off. That's going to be, each life is eerily similar to the one you left off because you created it. If you was a low good, stealing person, you're going to incarnate and that energy's still going to shroud you. You may be the stealer or someone may be doing it to you. It's usually someone doing it to you so you can learn your lesson. You can either learn your lesson, okay, I'm not going to do it, or you can do it and then someone's going to do it to you, then you'll learn it. So when you see yourself doing stupid stuff and no one's watching, you're watching yourself. And yourself is going to put you in situations so you can learn not to do that again. You come here to evolve, and that is all.
And then it also goes back, I remember my mom said, shout out to mom, I remember my mom said, when we were younger, I know y'all heard this, no matter what you do, someone's always watching. And that's a fact. You see what I'm saying? And that goes back to the old saying, what's done in the dark always comes to the light. You can only hide certain aspects of your life or certain perspectives of your life for so long before it manifests itself. You see what I'm saying? You can, like you said, you can be a thief or whatever. You might not, you might be getting away with it for a while, but eventually it's going to manifest itself. You're like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? You ain't right, but it's going to hurt you in the long run.
We have to start looking at life as a program. And when I went to the ride, I started learning how to code, and then I started to how code and programming is akin to reality. I was like, wait a minute here. Then the Matrix came out. I was like, well, someone's trying to talk to me. And I'm over here, coding in COBOL, Unix, JCL, all these languages. And what I learned was when there's code, that code's not just going to create something that's not there. So in reality is we have the power to create our own code within the code. So although there's pestilence and suffering around, I can, I can amalgamate with the code and fall in line like everyone else, or I can create my own code by my thoughts. And that's what winning does. And that's where that's born from. So when you see yourself thinking negative or something like that, you have to acknowledge the fact that, whoa, I'm succumbing to the code that's flowing out here. Let me rewrite that code and start thinking of something favorable. I don't care, make it up.
Yeah.
Because your mind can't differentiate between what's real in here and what's real in front of you.
Yes, sir.
I learned that working at the Olympics back in '96. I worked at the boxing venue. I was doing security. And what they would do is have the athletes sit in the ring and envision themselves walking down the aisle. This was the first 20 minutes, so they were even working out.
Yeah.
Walking down the aisle, getting their hands wrapped up, fighting a couple rounds. And that act in their mind to their body, it was as if they was really doing it.
Yeah.
So we got to start doing that more often. Lying to yourself if you have to, that's what you want to call it.
Right,
Yes,
right.
sir.
And like you said, that also goes before we got on the air or whatever, before we started talking. That also goes in line with the words that you choose in the mindset, you know what I mean, that you put in yourself. Like I said, I don't use the words try. I don't use the words can't. I don't use the words if. I don't use the word but. It's just certain stuff in my vocabulary as I got older that I just refuse to use. You know what I'm saying? And that goes back, like you said, they visualizing, okay, this how I'm going to handle it. So you have to visualize it the same way. You know what I'm saying? If you're striving to do something, it has to be, I will, I am, I can. You know what I'm saying? Manifest it, it's going to prosper. You know what I mean? You have to have that type of mindset. Like, I will do this. Like, I'm not going to fail. This ain't going to fail. The business venture we trying to do is not going to fail. You know, the book you writing, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to fail. You know what I mean? It's not a failure. It's only a failure if you have failure mentality. Bottom line.
You know, my wife introduced, I wish I remember the name of the book. It was about the space-time continuum. I was like 19 years old. She gave me this book. And she talked, in the book, it talked about how experiences in the future sends beacons of consciousness to our time so we can start walking down the path that leads to that action. So it talked about how life isn't linear. Life is cyclical. So what's happening in the future for us right now in this present moment in time is just a memory. But we have the time to recreate the future right now. So if you're thinking negative and
When you say recreate, right? You know, am I thinking the same thing as change?
yes,
Okay.
change the future.
Okay.
Because if I just sit here right now, they're giving out Dixie cups outside. If I don't move, I'm not going to get one.
Yes, sir.
So if I don't move, I'm not getting a Dixie cup.
Yes, sir.
I can change that by going out there and getting me a
Sure.
Dixie cup.
And
But both realities are true at the same time.
And that's my problem. It ties into some social issues that we want to talk about. I was watching a little bit of Lil Baby's documentary on Amazon Prime yesterday, and they were saying, tying into the Olympics, right? So they said when the Olympics came to Atlanta, they had these people that went around to like inner city neighborhoods, cleaning the inner city neighborhoods out just for 3 weeks so Atlanta could look like this perfect place, right? And then they also built up these walls around the neighborhoods that they couldn't tear down, so people wouldn't see those people inside of those walls, right? So they said that people that start in poverty normally end up in poverty. And I didn't start in poverty, so I can't speak from that place, right? But I would hope that you could change that. Like, you know, it's generational. Am I ignorant to think that somebody that can break that generation, or are you just stuck where you are?
It all comes to your choices. I broke mine.
Yes.
My great-grandparents were in the hood.
Yes.
My great-grandparents, my grandparents, my mother and father, and I all were born on the same block, pretty much, in the hood.
Yeah.
But you change it by changing your code through your thoughts. Because we have something that's called cellular memory. So at 12 o'clock, you had an alarm clock in your house that chimed at 12 o'clock, and I just hit you on your back indefinitely. When you have kids, they see that at 12 o'clock, they're going to do this. And their grandchildren, at 12 o'clock, they didn't start doing that.
Yeah, that's
But if one grandchild said, you know what, I'm moving out of this house because I don't want to feel this way.
Right.
His children won't feel that way.
Yes.
Because he made a choice to do something different.
Yes.
So if you're succumbing to negativity and you're in the hood, it's because you made a choice to stay.
There's a lot of people that make those choices.
You can't help where you start. Well, you can't help where you end up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's when I made a choice.
Yes.
I want to go raise my daughter's bougie.
Right.
And I love that she has the freedom to be able to buy whatever she wants.
Right.
Because she has that right. We all do.
Yeah.
It's not bougie.
Yeah.
It's doing what you came here to do. Enjoy life.
For sure.
And when you have
Say
that,
that again, please.
it's not bougie. It's doing what you came here to do. Enjoy life.
Life is supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah. We have to start getting our credit straight.
Yeah.
We have to start getting credit cards to live off of.
Yeah.
You can pay your bills on your credit cards and pay your bills incrementally over time, and you'll notice your bank account rising over time.
Yeah.
And so you saving up 6 months to go on a trip,
Yeah.
and then you come back, you don't have any money, and you have to save. Well, you can have a credit card, pay for the trip, and then pay it back 6 months, and within those 6 months, go on another trip.
Right.
So in 1 year, you went 4 trips,
Yeah.
and you didn't have to save a dime.
Yeah, for real.
But so learning about credit, learning about investing, learning about if you got a credit card with a low balance, don't use 30% of it.
Right.
You got 10 credit cards, but you only got a $500 balance. As soon as you go 30%, you losing points each month.
Yeah.
But if you got a $5,000 card, you just spend $1,000 each month. You'll get 14 points every month.
Right.
So we have to learn the game. But
Say
it's
that again.
but you know this video ain't about the game.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
yeah, it's just that you
Well,
have to choose.
well,
It's about choices.
Well,